she woke in the dark. Through the slats on the window's shades, the first murky hint of dawn slipped, slanting shadowy bars over the bed. It was like waking in a cell. For a moment she simply lay there, shuddering, imprisoned, while the dream faded. After 10 years on the force, Eve still had dreams. 6 hours before, she'd killed a man. Had watched death creep into his eyes. It wasn't the first time she'd exercised maximum force, or dreamed. She'd learned to accept the action and the consequences. But it was the child that haunted her. The child she hadn't been in time to save. The child whose screams had echoed in the dreams with her own. All the blood, Eve thought, scrubbing sweat from her face with her hands. Such a small little girl to have had so much blood in her, and she knew it was vital that she push it aside. Standard departmental procedure meant that she would spend the morning in testing. Any officer whose discharge of weapon resulted in termination of life was required to undergo emotional and psychiatric clearance before resuming duty. Eve considered the tests a mild pain in the ass. She would beat them, as she'd beaten them before. When she rose, the overheads went automatically to a low setting, lighting her away into the bath. She winced once at her reflection. Her eyes were swollen from lack of sleep, her skin nearly as pale as the corpses she'd delegated to the ME. Rather than dwell on it, she stepped into the shower, yawning. "Give me 101 degrees, full force," she said, and shifted so that the shower spray hit her straight in the face. She let it steam, lathered listlessly while she played through the events of the night before. She was in Murder was work. Death was a serious chore for the killer, the victim, for the survivors, and for those who stood for the dead. Some went about the job devotedly, others carelessly. And for some, murder was a labor of love. When he left his Park Avenue condo for his regular morning stroll, Walter C. Pettibone was blissfully unaware he was in his last hours of life. He was a robust 60 and a canny businessman who'd increased his family's already considerable fortune through flowers and sentiment. He was wealthy, healthy, and just over a year before had acquired a young, blonde wife who had the sexual appetite of a Doberman in heat and the brains of a cabbage. His world, in Walter C. Pettibone's opinion, was just exactly so. He had work he loved, to children from his first marriage who would one day take over the business he'd taken over from his own father. He maintained a reasonably friendly relationship with his ex, a fine, sensible woman, and his son and daughter were pleasant, intelligent individuals who brought him pride and satisfaction. He had a grandson who was the apple of his eyes. In the summer of 2059, World of Flowers was a major intergalactic enterprise with florists, horticulturists, offices, and greenhouses both on and off planet.